Today we're making shiplap out of plywood. Hi, I'm Linda with Life on Summerhill, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. So today we're going to talk about how to make shiplap from plywood. And we're doing a project in my daughter's room, and the one thing she requested was a shiplap wall. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make shiplap from plywood.
Let's begin by removing the shoe mold first and then the baseboard. Start by breaking the caulk line with a utility knife and then place a putty knife down in between the boards and pulling away a little at a time until you go to the very end. Then you'll be able to pull the whole board out without breaking it. Next, it is time to make your plywood shiplap pieces. To do that, we ripped down the plywood into 4.5-inch strips. We simply placed the plywood onto a table saw and ran it through, and then repeated that over and over until we had enough plywood shiplap pieces for our wall. Next, it is time to sand down your plywood shiplap boards. To do that, I used my orbital sander with a medium grit first and then a fine grit. And then I blew it off with my blower and used a tack cloth to remove any remaining grit. Now it's time to nail your boards into your wall. To begin, we placed our second board first and then measured in between that board in the corner at the top, in the middle, and the bottom. Then we went and measured another board with those measurements. Used a chalk line to mark where to cut it and then cut it. Once the board was cut, we nailed it into the corner. After the corner is finished, you simply place board to board all the way down until you get to the end. However, we left a nickel gap in between each board. One last note, make sure you nail all your boards into the studs behind the sheetrock. Now that your wall is finished, you can leave it unfinished or you can paint it like we did. To paint our shiplap wall, we simply used a good primer first. We used Kilz 3. After you've put a coat of primer on the wall, you'll need to go back and clear out all those nickel gap areas where paint has connected the two. To do that, we used a dry brush and just brushed it into the gap. Now, paint over your primer with a good paint. We used Sherwin Color Escape Gray. Now that all the shiplap is on the wall, you need to place your baseboard back down at the bottom along with the shoe mold, and then you need to nail your crown piece at the top. We used a 1x4 for our crown. Now that the wall is painted, if you are doing an accent wall, you'll need to trim the edges or the corners. My daughter did that because she has a real good steady hand with an angled, firm paintbrush. But if you're not so great at that, I would recommend using painter's tape.
So, are you ready to give this project a try? Here are a few last videos of the room just so you can see how we decorated it. Like, instead of a traditional nightstand, we put this small little buffet to the side of her bed and then did some vintage decorations around it. And then we used her grandmother's old bed to decorate the room with some beautiful white linens to brighten it up against the green wall. And then last, we love this old painting. We didn't plan for it to match this well, but look how good it matched. So again, I want to thank you for coming, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. And please give us a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.